Hey everybody, how you doing? John and Forrest here with About Real Estate Group, back for another monthly market update. We're sticking to the first week of the month as promised.
4 months in, we're on schedule, just about, I think.
Yeah, it's 7 days.
It's the 7th, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So this month, I guess, is not anything huge to report. We just got the stats for last month, and effectively, the numbers haven't really changed. When we look back over the last 12 months, when we talk about numbers, we mean sales being relatively low, inventory being elevated. The numbers, when you look at, say, for example, March 2026 compared to March 2025, for inventory and sales volumes are roughly about the same.
Pretty similar.
No meaningful change. We reported last month, obviously, we've seen about a 7% decline when you kind of factor in all product types across the Lower Mainland over the last year. If these numbers do not change, like the ratio of sales to listings, we will probably see the same kind of declines throughout the remainder of this year and into early next year. It's not looking like we're going to see a change.
No, and I think that's something that, I know a couple times in the last few weeks, we've had some clients that were just ready to list. We got some photos done, and then we were kind of waiting for a sale to turn over in the complex of the neighborhood. And once that sale registers, they're like, oh, well, this is quite a bit less than I was expecting. And it's kind of hard to motivate them to get moving. I feel like the real estate market in the Lower Mainland, everyone always has this wait and see approach where everyone wants to wait and see what's going to happen. They have this just hope that things will always turn around, or prices are coming down, or prices are going up. So I think a lot of people, if they don't really have to make the move, they're really putting things on hold and just hoping that the prices are going to increase a little bit, or we're going to see a bit more activity to kind of bolster the market. But I just can't see any indicator of that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think demand's one thing, but as we've touched on countless times doing these monthly videos, even if demand picks up, there is still so much inventory out there. And if demand does pick up, all the sellers that have tried and failed over the last 4 years to sell, because we're 4 years into this market decline now, with a couple of things along the way in 2023 and all that kind of thing, right? We've had a really high inventory now for 2 years, and prices are still coming down. And even if demand picks up, you've got that whole backlog of people that have tried and failed. Arguably 30, 40, 50% of people that have tried to list over the last 4 years haven't sold yet. So they will also jump in once the activity does pick up a little bit, no doubt. So we're a long way from prices going up, guys. We've been saying this for a long time, and it annoys me sometimes when you go on Instagram or YouTube and you look at all these realtor channels and they say, oh, mortgage is picking up just because they did a few deals in 1 month. It's really not like that. We felt like things were picking up early this year, and we arguably maybe fell into that trap of saying things seem to be picking up a little bit. We were just busy. Turns out no one else was. So I do think that we're probably into some moderate declines this year, I think, as the year progresses.
And we're also, I feel like we're fairly young at heart in that sense, and we're far into our career, and people would almost say that, oh, you guys are older realtors now. So
Would you say that?
Yeah, I've had people say that we're not, the word's escaping me, but anyways, we're not
tenured. I like the word
tenured is much better. But our business seems to keep going along, and I think if you had dropped us into this market early on in our careers, we probably would be floundering a little bit. But because we have a backlog of clients, and because we work actively to bring in new business, we're steady, we're busy, we're fine. This whole kind of farce where the market is going to pick up, or suddenly spring market's coming and we're gonna see prices maybe increase a bit, it's just not gonna happen. There would have to be interest rates would have to get slashed, inventory levels would have to keep going down, and even if we saw a little uptick in the market that was noticeable enough for it to be something that people are talking about, like John says, all those people from the last 4 years that couldn't sell are going to dump their inventory back on the market. The inventory levels are going to rise. Some new war somewhere will start, and the interest rates will go back up, and we're just kind of stuck back at this.
We really are, much like the war in Iran, in a bit of a quagmire right now. And I think the energy crisis that's going to happen is probably going to have a huge
gas prices.
I know. 215 yesterday, I noticed. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be, it's going to take a number of probably years to get us out of this crisis we're in right now.
I'm saying 6.
6 years, yeah. Well, I mean,
before we see things kind of like
6 years from now.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe about 6. Mark my words on this. Bookmark this one.
We're kind of entering a lost decade. Like, I know this is crazy in Vancouver real estate, but we were already 4 years in. There's no sign of this turning around. And I think we need to also mention as well how prices do, like what is market value? Market value is what a buyer is willing to pay in this market.
Which is always a perceived value.
Perceived value. And exactly. And how do we get that value? We look at what's sold in your area for similar homes. Now, right now, there's almost nothing selling. So oftentimes when we're looking at pricing out a home, a condo, a house, whatever it is, we're looking at comps from a long time ago. Then it's like, okay, well, we have to factor in 6 months ago it was sold for this. What would it sell for now?
Exactly.
Then we also have to look at, well, there's no comps that are even remotely similar. So what's this kind of home selling for? Yeah, it may be 800 square feet smaller, this house, compared to this one. It might have a smaller lot. Yeah. But the reality is you have to make these big adjustments based on that because there's nothing comparable actually selling unless you're in a condo building.
Yes, and our comparative market analysis are getting harder and harder to do, as you say. And we're also having to look at active listings quite a bit, which we wouldn't really use too much before when there was enough sales to kind of like get an accurate figure. So now if there's 15 houses, you can kind of see, okay, these guys are all priced within this one band. We're looking at an average 70, 90 days on market. We talk to the realtors, oh yeah, showings are a bit slow, or we get a couple a week or whatever. And then you'll see a couple outliners of active that are under 30 days, maybe $100,000 less, similar style house, and they've got an offer or they're pending under contract. So we're definitely having to get a little more nuanced with how we're assessing homes and the prices that we're suggesting that we put on them for sure.
That's true. I think it seems to me like there's one of two things happening out there is realtors are letting sellers pick their price and just go.
That is happening a lot.
And then that's obviously going to be off because they're looking at list prices, right? So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy on that front. The other thing I can only imagine is that realtors are going, well, there's no comp, so I'll just go back further and looking at comps from maybe early last year, and they're going, okay, well, this one sold for 145. And then they're going, okay, well, let's price it at 1499 or 145, and then suddenly, but it's actually worth like a 135.
Yeah, and it's wild too. Like we had a listing very recently that finally sold. It was in a condo building in New West, and the latest comp for the same unit was about 3 or 4 floors higher, and we usually adjust a few $1,000s per floor as you go up and down. But the last sale was 708. There's a 708. And then someone sold for 740, and that lady that had to really sell at 708 kind of set that new value. And then the next one that sold for 740, which was in between these floors, that one they accepted it. There was like a train of subject to sales, so they were able to they found the perfect buyer at the right time, and they got a little bit more. And then we sat on the market for 6 months. We ended up taking $45,000 to $50,000 less than what perceived market value would be at currently looking at sold data. But the sold data is also 5 months old now, and there's nothing really else that's sold recently. And the myriad of different sizes of these concrete towers and ages and types and who's the developer and what's the maintenance like, there's so much to put into it. And we found a good buyer, but now there's people listed in that building that are over $100,000 higher than that for the same floor plan that it's just sitting there. It's never going to sell.
This is the difficult thing for sellers to understand. It's almost the first one to sell wins. Because everyone in that building now that Forrest is talking about we are the new comp.
Yeah.
Just like the 708 was the new comp at the time. It was like, oh, that's really low. This is what's happening. And when we have, people out there sort of saying, well, we just need one buyer, we just need one offer. And it's like, yes, that is how it plays out. However, if you're not getting showings on a weekly basis, that one buyer is not there, and all we're doing is allowing other sellers to be the first to the post to get that buyer. They will be selling at prices you're not happy with, and that will in turn reprice your home. So
it's never been more important to be as accurate as possible with your pricing.
Absolutely. And we always tell people as well, the showing requests, so that traffic is the only
indicator
of how well priced you are.
Yeah.
If you're not getting weekly showings, you are overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting a few showings a week, yeah, maybe you're in the ballpark, right? If you're getting 5 to 8 showings a week, you're going to sell, and I think you're well priced.
You'll probably sell within a month.
And we've seen this play out. Like, we just sold a house, and we had four offers within the first 2 weeks, and then a fifth one came in, and we took it. We had a collapsed offer, loan was subject to sale. We didn't take them because we knew we were well priced. We knew we were going to get one that wasn't subject to sale, and we took one, and it played through. So it's like, the reality is, the data really just reveals all. Like, it's very simple. The hard point of this market, the difficult thing, is getting the sellers to really understand the situation.
The sellers to understand, but it's also getting the buyer through the process. Like, arguably, I've seen listings they're so well priced. I'm like, that is a steal. That has to sell immediately. And I check back in on it. It's 28 days on the market. I call the realtor. She's like, oh my God, we have like 5 people that say they want to buy it, but there's 42 other condos that are the exact same size. So no one's making, even if they're like, this is arguably very well priced, it's a great unit, it fits all our needs, it's kind of rare for people to jump on them. People are going out and they're seeing every other condo unit
because there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose.
You lose that unit, and there's more that will come. There's a high inventory market. You're going to find another one you like, and also the reality is, the longer you wait, the better price you get. But I mean, it's very rare for people to like, especially when buying like townhomes and houses, like to not have sold something as well. So generally speaking, when people are buying a house or a townhouse, they've sold something. So a lot of our clients, it really, the pricing, it sucks. Like, a lot of them may be taking a loss.
But it's more of a timing issue. And
but it's always more of a ratio thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I'm going to take 50 grand less for my townhouse, but hey, I'm going to get this house for 100 grand lower than it was last year. So at the end of the day, I'm coming out ahead. And these are the stories, and these are the conversations we're having with lots of clients these days. The difficult thing is, obviously, if you're not buying and selling, you're kind of, if you're a first-time home buyer, you're watching prices come down, being like, should I just wait a little bit?
That's what I was just gonna say. Is that it's like, we haven't had many first-timers come around, or people that are renting and then looking to buy. Like, and switch back to that listing that just sold. Those buyers are renting, and it took them, I think, a month and a half from the time that they first viewed it. A month and a half.
I remember they came through.
They came back, and then like a whole month later, they're like, okay, well, we're giving you an offer.
Yeah.
And they just gave us a price. Like,
and
this
during
is
that
all
time, they're just looking at every other listing out there.
And they gave us an offer that arguably was like, ugh, but like, my guys they had to make a move. They needed a house. There's great properties that they want to buy at arguably very good pricing. So they were like, okay, let's bite the bullet. Let's take the loss on our sale. And I think people get really tied up into like what they paid and like a loss. Like, they're like, oh, I'm not making any money on this. I'm taking a loss technically after fees and taxes and stuff like this. But if you're buying again, it's like, do you want to sit in a space that doesn't work for you for the next 5 to 6 years, just so you can hope that you won't take a loss? And we don't even know. Things might just be worse in 5 years. We have no idea. So it's like, if you're wanting to make a move and you're wanting to actually do something, as long as you're priced well and you have realistic expectations of what you're expecting to get versus what you're expecting to buy, it's a fairly low pressure, low stress environment to do it in.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
and I'm seeing some moves happen where people are going to be very happy, and they're not going to look back in 7-8 years and be like, oh, I really regret selling my 1-bedroom condo. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the thing. I always try to tell people, like, if you look back in 6 or 7 years, you might regret not selling this, but you're definitely going to not regret selling it and moving into something else.
Yeah,
that's bigger.
Exactly. And I think the overarching theme here is that we've sort of touched on this a little bit over the months as well, is like, real estate has certainly entered a new chapter, especially the last couple of years. There's no investors there at all. They're all gone. It's just end user buyers. People have lost faith in it as an investment vehicle. People are buying and selling now because they want security in where they live. They're not even thinking about future price growth. This is a whole new paradigm compared to how it was
early COVID and before.
Yeah, like the COVID years, even post-COVID a little bit, 23 even, like, and way before that. Like, for the last, there's about 10-15 year run where it was all people spoke about. It was
all a vehicle for investment, flipping pre-sales, making money.
There is none of that happening right now. We are talking about a basic market, but we're still carrying the remnants, these these
No one
mental
can-
thought processes
yeah, yeah.
for years and years and years in sellers' minds of you can't lose, real estate goes up.
Yeah.
This is a whole new paradigm, and
The pre-sale market is just being torn to shreds.
that's going to be in pain.
It's gonna be like a market
that
use
segment of
case
the market.
in 10 years from now.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be all doom and gloom on this, but the reality is that the new construction that's not built yet is effectively dead. Like,
Dead.
I think all these small developers are going to have to get weeded out. It's the big pod developers are going to have to build then sell, or build very unique product and offer a very attractive pricing. But the reality is these projects don't make sense financially to build right now.
Mm-hmm.
So pre-sale is going to be very dead. But then again, going back to immigration, that, you know, a lot of people watching this might be going, well, if pre-sale's dead, there's no new product coming to market, we're going to have a shortage. We're not, because the population of BC is actually contracting. People are moving into provincially to other provinces, and there's a lack of newcomers coming here because the Carney government obviously basically put immigration to zero after the Trudeau years of mass immigration. So you've basically got a contracting population, you've got falling rents, no investors, just everyday people looking to buy and sell because of family and divorces, deaths, relocations, whatever it is. This is what we're left with. So the mindset of things are just going to go crazy again, or things are going to pick up soon.
It would have to be
It's
an
going to
absolute
be
perfect
years.
storm. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I hope it's not 6 years, because I would like things to improve a little bit. We're at very weak stages right now, but the reality is it's not looking like it's going to be anytime soon. So that's what we're seeing. It's a bit doom and gloom, but the reality is
People are still making
you
moves.
have to be given the right information to make the right decision for you, and that's kind of why we're here.
Let's wrap
Yeah.
that up. This is
That was quite
17 minutes.
Wow, that was long.
We were like, we're going to knock this out in 5. If you made it all the way to the end, we appreciate it. And thanks so much, as always, for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave us a note in the YouTube video here, or you can send us an email. We're always available.
Yeah, thanks guys. We'll see you next month.